All right, boys and girls. I split part 5 into 2 parts, just because I didn't realize when I had made the notes that they were I forgot to split them in the notes. So anyway, so there are 2 parts here. We're going to call this part B, I guess. Part 5B, part 5A would be the stuff about Christianity. Anyway, so this part is about Roman culture and contributions, which, like the Greeks, have given us many things in our society that we still use today or admire, appreciate, or use. Okay. All right, so we're going to pick up at the box underneath Christianity where it says before Christianity became a rising religious force in Rome, blah, blah, blah. So the Romans, like the Greeks, believed in mythology. They were polytheistic, and they were polytheistic before Rome became monotheistic and followed Christianity. Roman mythology was based on Greek polytheistic religion, explanations of natural phenomena, human qualities, and life events. So same stuff as with the Greeks. And they were an integral, important part of politics, art, and culture. So it was a big part of Roman society, just as it was for the Greeks. Roman gods and goddesses, these are the ones you kind of have to know. So you got Jupiter, Juno, Apollo, Diana, Minerva, Venus, and Mars. Okay, so obviously our planets are influenced by the names of the Roman gods and goddesses. Symbols and images in literature, art, and architecture. Okay, obviously the Greek mythology is a lot more well known, at least in our society, probably than Roman mythology, but still has quite a bit of influence. So Jupiter, king of the gods, Juno, queen, Apollo was the god of healing, and you'll notice that Apollo is the same name in both Rome and Greece. And then you have Minerva, goddess of wisdom of the hunt, and Venus, goddess of love and beauty. Okay, and this part does kind of jump around a little bit, so just kind of follow along as best you can, pause, whatever. Literature, the famous book, the epic, was the Aeneid by Virgil. Okay, so again, telling the story, heroic stories of Romans in their confrontations, meetings with gods and goddesses, other mythical identities, deities, etc. Architecture is a big part of Roman society, and obviously our society as well. The Romans developed baked brick, cement, and obviously the Roman arch, which is important for bridges because they can hold a lot of weight, which you'll see coming up here momentarily. Okay, one of the most famous architectural pieces is the Colosseum. And this was like your sports stadium. This is where gladiator battles, very, very cool things they could do. They could actually flood it, the bottom of it, and have naval battles in there to recreate, let's say, maybe a battle between Rome and Carthage during the Punic Wars. Okay. Here it is, what it looks like today, popular tourist site at night. Part of the movie Gladiator, which we'll watch a couple parts of in class, was about the Colosseum. Here's the scene from that movie. The Roman arch. Okay. Again, the big part about an arch is that it allows more weight to be held above it. Okay. And the key part is this thing called a keystone, which kind of brings the forces together. Okay, so there's some science and physics in here. You can see these rocks here, keystone. But again, an arch can sustain a lot of weight above it. Here's another arch. Okay, again, keystone right here. Aqueducts. Okay, aqueducts. There's the bell. Aqueducts brought water from clean reservoirs to the city. You can see that it looks like it's going straight across here. But you can kind of see, if you look at it closely, that it does. There is an incline, and that's what makes the water flow towards the city. Okay, so it's not flat. If it's flat, the water doesn't flow. So it does have to be at an incline to bring the water so that it will run towards its destination. Let's see here. And some of them obviously still present today. Alright, the Pantheon was another famous building. It was a temple to the gods. It does have a dome in the back, which you'll see coming up here in a second. Okay, do not confuse these two. Pantheon, which is the Roman temple. Here's the dome. We'll watch a video about how they made that. It's pretty impressive. This is the Parthenon, a Greek temple. Best way to remember it is Pantheon. This looks like a pan. Oh, sorry. There we go. Coolest thing you'll see all day. Pan. Alright. Don't confuse those. Know them. Alright. Pantheon. Pantheon. Parthenon. Let you guess. Let you guess. And there it is again. And obviously it is still standing. Circus Maximus was like, a racetrack, okay, where they had chariot races, another form of entertainment for Romans to occupy their time. Right. Dang computer. And here's what it looks like inside the model of the city. Okay, so could hold about over 200,000 people, so it was big. And if you've read or watched the Hunger Games, they had a stadium also called Circus Maximus. Interesting. Alright, science. The big science guy was a guy named Ptolemy. He was a mathematician, astronomer, and he developed the idea of a geocentric universe. That is, the Earth is the center of the universe, not the sun, which we know of now. And this is an idea that held up for a very long time. It would not really be challenged until the 14th, 15th century by new scientists who were developing new theories. Medicine, public health, water was seen as a way to keep people healthy. Obviously, the public bath does not look very clean, but at the time, the Romans were developing new ideas about health, medicine, building off the ideas of Hippocrates from ancient Greece. So they had public baths, public water systems, medical schools. The Romance languages. The Latin language came from the Latin people, the original inhabitants of Italy. And all of these here, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Romanian, are Romance languages. Okay, so here's a common saying, good day. I mean, how they are all very similar amongst the Romance languages. Okay, so when you hear Romance language, it's not about love and being in love with someone. It's about, these are the languages that came from Roman times. Romance, Roman. And then law, the principle of innocent proven guilty. Okay, which is a big part of our criminal justice system. Our legal system in the United States came from Rome's 12 tables. Okay, so that's pretty much it. The other part of there about where it says religion, obviously Roman mythology and the adoption of Christianity as the imperial religion, which we'll talk about next block. Okay, the rise of Christianity and Jesus Christ. So that's it for part 5B. We will do part 5A next. So see you soon.